Reinvent yourself. Welcome to the Disrupt Everything podcast series with Isra García. The opportunity to live in a permanent state of reinvention and change as change happens. A space for human potential, action, holistic high performance, ultra productivity, experimental lifestyle, unstoppable attitude, disruptive mindset, coaching and self-discipline as a lifestyle, modern stoicism, impact marketing, connected leadership, and whatever comes next.
Compassion is the spontaneous wisdom of the herd. It's always with us. It's always has been and always will be. When it arises in us, we simply learn to see how strong and safe we really are. This is a quote I choose from our next guest, our next disruptor, worldwide figure, worldwide leader. Today, in Disrupt Everything podcast series, we have younger Mingyur Rinpoche. Welcome, Mingyur Rinpoche.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mingyur Rinpoche is a Tibetan teacher and a master of the Karma Kagyu and the Nyingma lineages of Tibetan Buddhism. He has authored 3 best-selling books and oversees the Tergar Meditation Community, an international network of Buddhist meditation centers. Another quote from Mingyur is, ultimately, happiness comes down to choosing between the discomfort of being aware of your mental afflictions and the discomfort of being ruled by them. Now, in Disrupt Everything podcast series, today, Yonggi Mingyur Rinpoche, here and now. Now we go with the intro, and then we go to a more detailed explanation and biography of who is Mingyur. Mingyur, again, welcome to Disrupt Everything podcast series.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very happy to be here.
White Belt Mentality. You're listening to Disrupt Everything podcast series with Isra García.
Mingyur, in his approach to teaching meditation, integrates traditional Buddhist practice and philosophy with the current scientific understanding of the mind and mental health, making the practice of meditation relevant and accessible to students all around the world. Mingyur is a world-renowned meditation teacher with personal experience of anxiety and panic attacks, which he suffered from through his childhood and to his teenage years. Then he learned to transform his panic through meditation. Born in Nepal in 1975, Mingyur Rinpoche began to study meditation as a young boy with his father, Tulku Urgyen Rinpoche, himself a well-respected Buddhist teacher. As a child, he became interested in contemporary science through conversation with scientists who were visiting his father, and as he grew older, he began to collaborate with neuroscientists and psychologists, including Richard Davidson and Anthony Lutz at the University of Wisconsin, on research projects that study the effects of meditation on the brain and the mind. When we become fixed in our perception, we lose our ability to fly, said Mingyur Rinpoche. His first book, The Joy of Living, Unlocking the Secret of Science and Happiness, debuted in the New York Times bestseller list and has been translated into 20 languages, Spanish one of them, La Alegría de Vivir. His second book, Joyful Wisdom, Embracing Change and Finding Freedom, explores how difficult emotions and challenging life situations can be used as stepping stones for finding joy and freedom. And his third book, In Love with the World, Mingyur Rinpoche shares how his meditation practice sustained him when he left the monastery to wander through India for 4 years and a half, if I recall well, and the powerful transformative insights he gained after a near-death experience he had at the beginning of this journey. Mingyur Rinpoche recently appeared in the Netflix series The Mind Explained in an episode about the benefits of the mindfulness. As the head of the Tergar Meditation Community, Mingyur supports group of students in more than 30 countries, leading workshops around the world and for new and returning students every year. Actually, Mingyur Rinpoche will be giving in-person teachings in Czech Republic, Portugal, and Germany in Europe. You can find more in events.tergar.org, and we will share the link in the podcast show notes. And you can know more where he will be guiding and leading these workshops that you can participate if you are in Europe, and then you can find more if you are in Asia or also in America. And to another quote that really grabbed my attention is to cut through problems, we need problems. Mingyur, with this intense life, first of all, we blessed and we're really grateful to have you in Disrupt Everything podcast series, where we deconstruct, dissect, and also share the profiles of worldwide disruptors, worldwide leaders that are creating a ruckus, making a ruckus in the world and creating change and changing what the things that really matters. And they are offering solutions for a world that thinks that it has lost its mind. No? With such an interesting profile and such a intense life, what were the most prominent turning points in your life? Why and what did you learn in each of them?
Yeah. So normally, what we call in our meditative practice, everybody has basic innate goodness. So, what is the basic innate goodness? For fundamental level, the deeper level, everybody has love and compassion, awareness, and the wisdom. These three innate qualities within us. But the problem is we are filtered by these three innate quality by ignorant. And ignorant meaning we don't see our true quality. For example, the scientist said if we have 10 qualities with us, one negative and nine positive, normally what we see is only one negative one. Then we exaggerate that negative 90%. And the other 10%, we ignore them. So normally I give example about if we have watch, maybe we have the best watch in the world, but you need to recognize your own watch. If you cannot recognize your own watch, watch cannot tell you time, even though you are having the best watch in the world. So same thing, we have this lot of great qualities within us, but we need to recognize them, nurture them, and explore them. So right now, the world is having very difficult situation, but there's always hope. There's always that we can learn from this, grow from this, and we can find solution from this. Sometime obstacle, from the obstacle we can learn. Problem we can grow. So the most problem is if we give up, if we surrender to problem, if we are lost into the problem. That's the biggest problem. But the most important is don't surrender to the problem. Don't give up hope. Try to transform. Obstacle become opportunity, problem become solution. For example, we have pandemic. And what happened normally I give teaching many places around the world. I'm so happy to help many people. But then suddenly everything stops. And I thought, what should I do? Now I change. I teach a lot online and I study a lot and I compose book and I did meditation, and I did a lot of exercise myself and grow organic vegetables. So without thinking some out of box, without giving, if I give up, none of this will not happen. But I didn't give up. I change. I look at another opportunity to grow myself, learn myself, to benefit for many other people at the same time. So we need to think about like that way. I think these are the really important that can help us.
And what were these moments in your life where life or when your life changed? What are the milestones that you have lived through your life that has been a turning point for you, like a aha or like a oh, it changed?
So for me, one of the really training point for my life is the panic attacks. So when I was young, around 10 years old, I have very strong panic attacks. And I try to run away from my panic. It doesn't work. I try to fight with the panic, become worse. What I call panic or panic. The panic or panic is stronger than panic. So then I learned meditation from my father, and my father said, don't fight with the panic. Make friends with the panic and transform panic as support for awareness. So I tried that. Of course, at the beginning, it's very difficult. I have a habit to fight with the panic or run away from panic, but eventually I can make friends with my panic. And the panic become my teacher, panic become my best friend. So I can use my panic as support for awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom. So actually, I gain a lot from my panic and grow a lot from my panic. So this is, I think, one of the really biggest lesson for my life.
Mm, how have you learned? So how did you transform
Mm-mm.
these panic and anxiety attacks through meditation?
Yeah,
What process did you follow? Because nowadays, as you said, in the pandemic and this new world that is opening, a lot of people is experiencing fear and anxiety
right.
and panic. So what process did you follow?
So we have three process. Actually, we have three main transformation practice. First, awareness. Second is love and compassion. Three is the wisdom. So we need to practice this step by step. So for example, the first step is awareness. So to cultivate awareness, first you need to choose one object. So could be your breath, your breath. So your mind to be aware of your breath and not need to have very strong focus. For example, are you breathing right now? I'm asking you, are you breathing?
Yes,
Of course, right?
yes.
So when I ask you, are you breathing now? In that moment, your mind go to the breath. Your mind and the breath together. That's it. That is the breathing meditation, actually. Very easy. So mind knows that you're breathing. Be your breath. And not very long. Normally you cannot keep very long. It's just a glimpse, glimpse, glimpse. Then what happened? The fear may come, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. What we call the monkey mind will come, and all this, the stress, everything will come. Don't fight with the monkey mind. Don't fight with the stress. Let them come. Let blah blah come. Let blah blah go. But the important is, if you still remember your breath, the glimpse of the memory of your breath, you're fine. You're in the meditation. So that is the first step of awareness, the awareness practice. Then the next is we need to feel the body, the second step. And you can
Mm.
scan your body with the awareness from head to feet and relax the muscles and feel the whatever sensation in the body, maybe gravity, warm, cold, tight, relaxed, peaceful, not so peaceful. Just to be aware of the sensation in the body. The second step. Now, the third step, you can watch panic. You can watch anxiety. You can be with a stress. Now, anxiety, stress become support for awareness, and the awareness become bigger than panic, and the panic become object of awareness, and eventually panic become pieces. You cannot really watch panic without pieces, because normally when we watch panic, maybe there's sensation, there's an image, there's a voice, there's a belief. So panic become four pieces. Once panic become pieces, panic lose power, not solid, not solid single anymore. What I call like shaving foam. So shaving foam looks like piece of rock, but inside full of bubbles. So panic become like that. So not just become pieces. At the same time, panic help us to develop awareness. So these are the how to cultivate awareness 3 step. And each step, especially the first one, at least we try 1 month with the breath. Then second, go into the body. Then third, panic become your friend. Focus on the panic. Panic becomes support for your meditation.
Very, very clear. What would you say to any child that is facing a kind of fear, anxiety, or bullying, and to their parents?
So for the child, I think really important to believe innate goodness. So no matter what happened, we all have capacity. We all have wisdom. We all have potential. We all have skills. So we have really great qualities within ourselves. So to really focus on that and to appreciate and gratitude about our true nature is wonderful.
And to their parents?
The parents, I think, really important to find the balance. Of course, you need to really care, send your love and compassion for the kids. At the same time, don't too much control. Sometimes parents
Eh,
parents lose balance. Um, Sometimes too much control. Sometimes not really having care, love, and compassion. So really be there and special send give your love compassion. But if of course if the child did some illegal things, whatever, you have to guide. But don't care about small things. Really letting go. You have to learn letting go with the child, but at the same time, don't give up.
can we can we truly be happy in today's world? What's the secret, or what's the recipe to be happy in today's world, Mingyur Rinpoche?
So the real what we call source of happiness we need to develop inside, the inner happiness. And which is that inner happiness is to connecting the awareness, love and compassion, wisdom that with us all the time. We need to discover that. We have that, but like as I mentioned before, like watch. If you not recognize your own watch, watch cannot tell you time. So same thing, we have these great qualities within us, but we are not recognized. 10 qualities with us, one negative, we see, easy to see, recognize. 9 positive, we ignore, we don't see it. So we need to see. And at the same time, we need to learn how everything become our friend, how everything becomes support for awareness, love and compassion, wisdom. So what we call problem become solution, obstacle become opportunity, suffering become happiness. Then you can really be happy. No matter what outside circumstances happening, inside your mind always in your hand, you can be happy. But if we rely on happiness always on the outside circumstances, then our happiness become like stock market, up and down, up and down, up and down.
So it's a matter of perception and recognizing the gift that is inside of you all the time.
Yes, correct. You're right.
What did you find after 10 years of solitary meditation? What would you say that was the discovery that transformed you? Because 10 years of solitary meditation is a very long way.
I mean, what I discover is the awareness, love and compassion, wisdom that within you become more clear, more present, more, how to say, it is really, in a way, immeasurable. And it's really pure beyond also. But the problem is, it is too close to us. So, too close, we cannot see it. Too easy, we cannot believe it. So, it is kind of like discovery that, wow, these things discover within you, but so simple and ordinary at the same time. And in the end, you don't have to do anything. That's good news. You just discover, you just be with it. It's just there, right there with you. And sometimes what happen is the problem is too easy. We cannot see it and we cannot believe it. But to let go of doing, let go. Sometimes what we call no meditation is the best meditation. So the real meditation, you don't have to meditate.
What's the no meditation? Is not doing it, not doing anything?
Not doing anything, but not lost. So there's sense of presence, sense of being, but at the same time, you're not meditating.
Pure awareness.
Of course, pure awareness and love and compassion, wisdom, three together, three in one.
Can you tell us more about that time 10 years ago, if I'm well documented, that you decided to leave your monastery to wander through India? What did you did it? What were the experiences that touched you deeply in this journey?
So we have this style of wandering retreat that leave everything behind. So there's two reasons normally. One is we go out of our own cocoon, out of box. And special for me, I'm meditation teacher and I'm the lama who stay in the monastery and I have a lot of cocoon. So when I go out of that, I'm alone on the street. Nobody is helping me. So that is really good for the meditation practice. Second, then you will encounter a lot of problems. Special, you go on the street Without so much money, you have to bake the food up and down, up and down, up and down. And eventually, all this becomes support for awareness and the love and compassion and the wisdom. So, what we call adding wood to the fire. So, at the beginning, we need to develop fire in the very safe place with the protection from wind and tiny grass. And the once the fire become bigger, 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 you open now. More wind is better, more wood is better. So everything becomes support for the fire. So in a way, ups and downs of life can help for the meditation.
What in this wandering through India for, I think it was for 4 years and a half or so, what was the experience that really touched you more deeply?
Of course, at the beginning, I almost died because I never went for baking food before, and I got food poison. And then after 6 days later, I don't have any food and having diarrhea, vomiting, and then my body become paralyzed. And then slowly I cannot see, cannot hear. All the senses dissolve. But then what I did is I remain in awareness, the meditation. So the body is completely shut down. I cannot really, even the thought, normal thinking also dissolves. The word, the image dissolves. But the awareness become very present, very clean. Awareness beyond time, awareness beyond subject and object. No front, no back, no time. And it is very peaceful, kind of like joyful, but the joyful without grasping, without concept. Vast. And there's no far and close, no up and down. So I was in that for a few hours. So that is really helped me to really have confidence about the inner quality of the awareness. So normally we discuss about everybody has this awareness, and even though conceptual mind is gone, if you recognize awareness, awareness always there. But then I have that experience. So my physical body is almost shut down, but awareness is fully
And,
present.
and did it help you? Did this help you for
Yes.
getting back?
So I was in that about 6 7 hours, and I have the sense of compassion, love and compassion, quite strong in the end, and that bring me to alive. Should I wait?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I was just listening. What's
Yeah.
been what's been your meditation journey? How has your practice evolved over time up until now?
So at the beginning, of course, very difficult. What we call waterfall experience. When I was young, I begin to learn meditation, feeling very bored and special. I feel like I learned the breathing meditation. I feel like this stupid. Every day breathing in, breathing out. And next day again breathing in, breathing out. What I'm going to learn is to how to get rid of my panic. But my father said, "Oh, don't care about panic. Watch your breath. Watch your breath." So I don't feel the connection. So boring. And and I love the idea of meditation, but I don't like the practice of meditation. So and after certain level, waterfall experience meaning looks like we are getting worse. When we meditate, so many thoughts, so many emotion comes, but then I didn't give up, and I learn more and learn more. So now I'm really, excuse me, I'm really happy because no matter what happened outside, the awareness, love and compassion, wisdom is never change.
I would love to ask you a question that is today is in the world and more than ever because everybody is talking about it, and I would love to see your thoughts on it. What's your take on psychedelics and meditation?
I don't know much about the psychedelics, so it's just new one, and but I heard of many of my friends, and they took kind of like psychedelics with the safe place, with a guide, with the step-by-step approach, and many of them they help for the depression or panic or something like that. So yeah, so for us, whatever that helps to you, and if it is not the harm like too much side effect, or it is not the become harm to many other people, why not?
Very interesting. Mingyur Rinpoche, how is your daily routine? Is there any habits that stand out or excel from the rest?
I do morning meditation, my personal meditation practice. So just wake up in the morning. I don't take shower, nothing. Just meditate on my bed. Just wake up. And then after finish my regular meditation, I go to take shower. Then after that, I take breakfast. And then I meet people in the daytime. I do teaching and like that.
How long are your meditation periods, more or
For,
less? If it's measured by time, of course.
for one day, 26 hours. No, I'm just kidding. uh, ab- about 1 hour.
what are the three persons, dead or alive, that you have met that they have influenced you the most, and if possible, why and how?
Of course, my teachers are really give me great impact. I have four important meditation teachers, and all these are equally really give me a great wisdom and a great transformation. And then another one is my grandma, and she is really impact my life. She really taking care of me when I was young.
What is the most beautiful memory that you have with your grandma?
She is really kind of like be there, support me, and I'm kind of like naughty boy when I was young, and she she never say you bad. She said your action might be not good. So she really believes in basic innate goodness. So it's a separate you and your action. So that is really helped me. I mean to understand to how to work with them, how to separate between me and my action.
And can you name the your four teachers? Can you name them? Can you
The
share with
first
us who were your four?
the first is my own father, Tulku Ojen Rinpoche. Second is Salji Rinpoche, my 3 year retreat teacher. I did 3 year retreat when I was 13. And the third is Guru Bajadara Tai Siddhu Rinpoche. So Tai Siddhu Rinpoche is what we have another meditation lineage called Mahamuda. So that meditation lineage, one of the main teachers, Tai Siddhu Rinpoche. And last is Nishul Ken Rinpoche. So that is the another meditation lineage called Dzogchen. So Dzogchen meditation I received from Nyushul Ken Rinpoche. So these are my four main teachers.
Can you name a big teaching that you have taken from one of them that you now remember clearly?
So one of the teaching that from my father. So the first time when I learned the meditation from my father, I was born in Nepal in the Himalayan mountain. So we have very beautiful sky, but at the same time we have a lot of storms in the mountain. Summer thunderstorm, winter snowstorm. So my father said, your true nature, the awareness is like sky in the mountain, and the panic is like cloud or storm in the sky. So no matter how storm comes, the nature of sky cannot change by storm. Storm cannot, the cloud and storm cannot be polluted the sky, cannot change the nature of sky. Sky is always pure, free, beyond. So awareness is just like that. My fundamental quality of the mind, the awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom, three in one, is like sky in the mountain. So cloud doesn't change the sky, so you don't need to fight with the cloud. You just stay with the sky. And nothing wrong to have cloud. Sometimes we should have cloud and the rain, right? Sky always blue with the sun shining, big problem.
What suffering did you find what suffering did you find while training for monk that was most difficult to endure?
At the beginning, of course, we have this traditional study for 9 years. Normally in the West, the college is the university 4 years, 3 years, but we have 9 years. So, and these texts are quite boring sometimes, quite technical, but the meaning is really profound. But if you don't know how to capture the meaning, you may lose with the words and the conceptual idea. So this is quite sometimes difficult.
And also, have you had a mystical experience, and also have you lived a mystical experience that was not pleasant at all?
We don't talk about those mysticals and clairvoyance and the magics. So what we call these are not important at all. And even you have the mystical powers, clairvoyance. Even you can fly, but the ignorant, aversion, craving fly together with you. So even you have those, normally we don't discuss. We don't care about those. Yeah.
It's a kind of distraction.
Yeah. Kind of distraction. And sometimes they may become cause of ego.
Hmm. What's the joy of living in 2022, and how can we find this joy of living?
So for me, the real joy of living is once you can make friends with everything, what we call everything, meaning the form, what you see, through the eyes, what you see, through the ear, what you hear, smell, taste, sensation, thought, and emotion. If you can transform all this as support for your inner well-being, like awareness, love and compassion, wisdom, then you can live your life joyful.
where do you start when you start teaching meditation to someone that has no practice before and you want they to make a big leap in their awareness?
Yes. So first step is the breathing meditation that I mentioned. Second, maybe you can listen. You can do the sound meditation. Just listen any sound to be aware of sound. And third is the mental recitation, meaning you can come up a word, maybe a word say I'm fine, I'm fine, everything with the silently, not with the mouth. Silent recitation. So normally I created what we call Joy of Living online workshop. So it's kind of like we already translate in Spanish also, and this has step by step guidelines. So you will receive short teaching and not just listening to teaching. You have to do homework and the practical application in everyday life and reading some books and do some discussion. So step by step, once you finish homework, then you receive next level of teaching, and finish that you will receive next level. So what we call experiential lineage. And nowadays, benefit of the internet, we can do that everywhere.
And it's in Spanish, so, right?
Yes, it's already translated into.
Also, it's in Spanish. So we'll make sure we put the links of the course in English and also in Spanish to everyone who is interested, which is listening the interview. Thank you for sharing this. What's the what's the one single mistake that advanced meditators keep on repeating over and over from your experience?
Yeah, that is the essence of meditation is what we call awareness, not the peace, not the calm, not the joy. These are the byproduct of meditation. Also, meditation doesn't mean think of nothing. So many people got misunderstood about meditation. So they think meditation meaning empty mind, empty brain, be quiet your mind. Also misunderstanding. Or meditation associated with peace, calm, joy, openness. Also misunderstanding. So the essence of meditation is awareness. So being with the awareness is the most important. And awareness with us all the time. You don't have to make new awareness. You already have it, but you need to recognize that and be with that. So in a way, it's so easy. But nowadays, many people think meditation meaning don't think anything, concentration, peace, joy. So that's a mistake.
How do you practice compassion every day, and how can we introduce compassion in our daily lives? Is there any technique, mantra, or habit that you can share with us?
The first important is we need to understand our own feelings. So we want to be happy, don't want to suffer. Every moment, every physical movement is looking for happiness. Every eyes blink also looking for happiness. So we need to understand that feeling with us. Then we need to understand that is with others. Everybody is sharing same feeling, wanting to be happy, don't want to suffer. So in a way, we all like brothers and sisters. We all like same feeling that share with everybody. So if you understand with them, but the problem is sometimes we want to be happy, but we don't know what is the real causes of happiness. So the real causes of happiness is to connect with the awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom. But what we do is create the cause of suffering, right? So wish that everybody happy and the causes of happiness. Wish everybody to free from suffering and special the causes of suffering. What is the cause of suffering? Grasping, um, egoistic mind become fixed, and then that's what we call ignorant. then the craving and hatred comes. And we lost with that, then we will create suffering after suffering.
What kind of meditation is often more effective for Westerns?
So, connecting with awareness. No need to meditate in a way, just be natural. Don't fight with thought. So, for example, if you say, don't think about pizza, what happened? We will think about the pizza.
You think about pizza.
Don't think about pizza. Don't think about pizza. Then we think about pizza more. So, don't fight with it. Don't fight with thought, emotion. Don't fight with the panic, depression. Let them come, let them go. But don't lose with it. Stay with the breath. Stay with the sound. Stay with the mental recitation. These three at the beginning.
And how a busy or impatient person might get hooked on a meditation practice when they are so in a hurry?
You can meditate everywhere, anytime, with anything. So there's no such phenomena that you can apply everywhere, anytime, anything except meditation. So actually, meditation doesn't interfere with your life, doesn't become kind of like, it doesn't take any extra time. You can apply meditation, whatever you do in your life. It is awareness. But you cannot apply awareness. It's just short time, but short time many times.
Usually people think about meditation and they think they have to be seated, they have to create the space, they have to. But what you are proposing is you can meditate everywhere, anytime, as much as you want, because you don't have to be as much, do nothing as be aware, right?
Yeah, yeah. Awareness in your hand. But of course, there's two type meditation. One is formal, one is informal. Formal, then you fully time dedicate for your meditation. Maybe one day, 5 minutes is also good. Or 1 minute, even 1 minute also good. But informal, everywhere, anytime, with anything.
I like the idea. What's your take on love, and how can practice more? How can practice more often this superpower?
Love. What did you say? I didn't get your
Yes,
question.
what's your take on love, and how can practice more often this superpower?
You mean the love and compassion, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and love. What's for you love?
Yeah. So the real meaning of love is wanting to be happy, maybe to you, to your friends, to other people. So the love is really looking for something happiness, nice, virtue, meaning. Compassion is wanting to free from suffering or problem or obstacle. So these two always together, like two sides of same coin. So the real meaning of love is really wishing to be happy, nice, wonderful to you, to your friends, or to family, to everybody. So that is the essence of love. But that love with us all the time actually. We have love 24 hours. Or even when you are having hatred, when you are angry, anger and hatred is only on the surface level. If you recognize, if you discover the essence of hatred is love and compassion, then anger will transform into love and compassion.
What do you recommend for people who have derailed from their path, who have derailed from the path of self-discovery and need to find their way back?
To the to the COVID.
So, yeah, what do you recommend for people who have derailed from their
Right.
path of self-discovery and they need to find their way back? What do you recommend?
So normally, it's the most important is we need to work with the three aspects of ourselves. So we have this habitual pattern. Habitual pattern is working is with the um, unconscious mind. Then we have emotional mind, the feeling mind, and we have intellectual. So intellectual working with the belief, and then we need to work with the feeling or experiential mind with the sense of being, like meditation, awareness meditation, love and compassion meditation. And these two, the view, which is the belief, intellectual mind, the feeling, experiential awareness and compassion, together in habit. So then we can transform our life, whatever we do. So that really helps. Whatever we let go of the past or to create new future, we need to three combine together.
And this helps you to get to find the joy of living, right? What did you learn from yourself when writing the New York Times bestseller The Joy of Living? What did you write? What did you learn when you were writing this amazing book?
So for me, I these meditation techniques really help me change my life. And I always feel I really want to share this to others, to give it to the many people, because nowadays people suffer a lot, special emotional level, psychological level, and we have this wonderful practice, wonderful technique, how to transform that from the deeper level. So that is my main motivation, that I really want to share this. And at the same time, I have lifelong interest about the science. So there's a lot of parallel between science and this meditative lineage, the idea. So I put together. I wrote the book Joy of Living.
I was going to ask you meditation, science, psychology, physics, and neurology. What can you say from your personal experience at this point of all of this together?
All this are coming together for me. Like what I learned these things in this 9 year of study in the monastery, in the Buddhism,
Wow.
and this some is related with the physics, some psychology, some related with um, the how our mind works, the function about the what we call five skandha. Five skandha meaning the matter, how the matter
Mhm.
works, and the feeling, and the concept, and the habitual mind, and then the stream of consciousness. So all this how it works and how to apply logic. So there's many different topics. So now I discuss this with science of physics. Ah, yeah, we learned that in my book, but of course from the different aspect. But in the end, same meaning. Or the psychology, how mind works. We learn a lot about this in the what we call Abhidharma, but from Western point is different aspects. So what I think is, though from the different aspect we use a different word, different terminology, but every year is coming closer, closer, closer.
Where and how do you find harmony?
So I think the real harmonious comes when everybody want to transform themselves. If you don't want to transform yourself, you want to change the world, then there's no harmony. But first, everybody need to transform themselves. If you want to transform yourself, the world is based on the individual. Then the real harmony comes.
What teachings or techniques do you use when you are helping others to try to cope with difficult or harmful experiences? How do you help them, or what do you teach them?
So I teach always these three things: awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom. Always these three things. And of course, these three things to first intellectual level, then experiential level, then apply in everyday life habit. It depends on the circumstances, depend on their habitual pattern. So like that. For
We
example,
came to the end of the interview. Sorry. For
for
example,
example, for example, the psychology said A, B, C. So A meaning affect, the emotional mind. B meaning behavior. C meaning cognitive. So they said if someone need to treat, if someone has psychological problem or emotional problem, they are the therapy working with the cognitive level or behavioral level. Still, scientists don't understand the emotional aspect. They know what the emotion there, but how to work with that still is the early stage. And from Buddhist, these texts, what we call view, meditation, application. So view, working with the cognitive level, meditation, working with the experiential level or emotional level, application, working with the behavior level. So although the different words, different terminology, but the basic idea is quite similar.
thank you for this, adding. What's challenging you at this moment? What is challenging for you at this moment?
My personal challenge.
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
sometime I was thinking, how much retreat should I do? Solitary retreat. How much should I teach?
What skill practice have you found significantly rewarding apart from meditation?
I like to do uh, hiking mountain. So when I hike mountain, feel very happy. So when I have time, I reward myself to hike the mountain.
Um, which three which three books have changed you?
So for me, there's a traditional book called Mountain Dharma. So this book is the first one, really helped me, Mountain Dharma. And second book is the what we call The Way of Bodhisattva. And this is a traditional book from India. And then the third book is about the nature of mind. This is restricted, very restricted book. So it's not cannot see publicly. So it's about the nature of mind. This three books really helped me.
And three last questions. What's your biggest takeaway on life so far?
For me, is what I call no matter how much on on the situation level or on the environment level or even the physical level, whatever up and down comes, the innate quality, the awareness, innate love and compassion, wisdom, always there. So up and down outside, on the surface level, up is great, down is also okay. But the important is the sense of well-being that innate with us. So that's the really helped me.
What story would you like to share with us that has made a big impact on you when you heard it for first time?
Headed which one first time?
Yeah, what story would you like to share with that had a big impact when you hear it
Ah,
for first time?
so that is the what we call Milarepa in in the Tibet. There's a great meditator called Milarepa, great yogi, and his life story has at the beginning a lot of struggle. Then he looked for the meditation dharma. In the end, he transformed. He always expressed joy, liberation, compassion, wisdom. He sing a lot of song. So there's a lot of song in the book. So life story of Milarepa. So when I was young, in the evening around maybe 8, 9 p.m., we all get together around fire because in the Himalayas quite cold, together with the fire. And then my mom used to read life story of Milarepa. And then we all listen. Especially my grandma, sometimes she will cry, then I cry, then my mom cry. So
Is there any special story that you remember about Milareva?
at the beginning he was struggle. His father died when he was young, and then his aunt and auntie and the uncle kick him out from the family, and then his mom and sister and him live outside, and then slowly and he got the revenge. He revenged them, but then he regret of those negative actions, and then he really want to purify that, and especially you want to learn meditation, look for teacher, and then in the end he's become wandering yogi. So that's the maybe one of the inspiration that I did wandering yogi because of that life story, I think.
Uh,
Okay, so now
Last question, Mingyur Rinpoche, is what would you if you had a billboard or if you had a message in the New York Times, what would be your message?
mm, so my message is believe in your innate goodness. Everybody has this innate goodness, and try to discover basic innate goodness within yourself and try to help others.
Is there anything else where people can find you on the internet?
So there's a website called Tergar. So I think it's
Mhm.
www.tergar, Tergar. So in there, all the courses, my teaching, everything's there.
We will put this in the podcast show notes and make sure that we direct people there that want to know more about you, the courses, the story. Is there anything else you want to add?
Everything good. Wonderful.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing this awareness, love and compassion and wisdom, and this message that transcends silos and also transforms people. And thank you, Mingo Reponche.
Most
And
welcome.
thank you everyone that listening this podcast. Thank you also for the work you do and also the people that works with you that help us to make this interview and the community.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be part of this broadcast, and hopefully will this bring some help for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to all of you that you are listening to the Disrupt Everything podcast series. Before transforming the world, go and transform yourself. That's a good and important message. And remember that that's the disruption. Just be first with yourself, and then you will change the rest. But first, focus on yourself, and let's get the work done. Thank you for being in the Disrupt Everything podcast series.
Thank you for listening to the Disrupt Everything podcast series with Isra García. You can listen to the podcast on any podcast platform or on isragarcia.es/podcast, where you'll find interviews with Seth Godin, Robin Sharma, Wim Hof, Kevin Kelly, Stephen Kotler, Joseph Ahram, Great Modern Stoics, Zen Masters, Shaolin Masters, Hollywood actors, New World sages, and many other disruptors, plus solo episodes with Isra. And the journey continues.